So I'll be talking to you about the Ajna Center today, and that's the green triangle here in the middle. I mean, underneath the head center. So the Ajna thing is a really funny thing, because in the head center we have all the thoughts, inspiration, questions. And the Ajna is more about the processing part of your brain, the formulation of ideas, insights, opinions. And if you're somebody who has a defined Ajna center, again, it's like you have a consistent way in which you're producing thoughts or opinions or insights or ideas. You know, it's just that it's something that is happening within you, and you can, depending on your definition, of course, you know, you can either communicate that out to people or not. But if you have an undefined Ajna center, don't get caught up in trying to fix your thoughts, trying to fix your opinions or ideas or even insights. Don't be afraid to change your mind. Don't be afraid to change your opinion, because you're not here to be fixed with that. And it can be a very attractive place to try and fix your undefined Ajna center. Because one of the things, I mean, I've noticed, I have an open Ajna, and one of the fears that I have is that I'm stupid. You know, like if I don't have a consistent way of processing my thoughts, if I don't have a consistent opinions, my mind tells me that I'm stupid. Or if I don't always have opinions, or if I don't always have an insight, my mind will tell me that I'm stupid. That's not the truth. It just means I have inconsistent way of forming my thoughts and opinions and ideas. And again, this is no one's authority. Mind is not an authority for anybody. It's not the inner authority, but it can be an outer authority that you share with others when it's been invited. So, you know, like all your thoughts and opinions and ideas are not necessarily for you. They are for the other out there. And that's something to understand. So we tend to like take ownership of our minds because it's so loud and it can talk to us in such a fabulous ways, you know, fancy words and beautiful insights and analytical stuff. It would be so easy to think that that's something in within us, the mind, that is equipped, you know, to navigate the life. But it's not, because it's just an afterthought, you know. And the thoughts generally, I mean, maybe you can enjoy them for yourself, but generally outer authority is something that we share with others. So your mind can be very useful as a piece of information for someone else. But if you're gonna try to live your life navigating with your mind, you might end up feeling resistance in life that will show up in different ways depending on your type. You know, if you're a generator, you might get frustrated if you're navigating with your mind. If you're a projector, you might feel more bitterness if you're using your mind as a decision-making tool. As a manifestor, it's anger. And as a reflector, it's disappointment. And I know it's really hard to not use our minds to make decisions, because that's the only thing that the mind wants to do. It just wants to control the show. And it has all this fabulous analytical information that it can convince us that it knows. And especially if you have an open Ajna center, it will try and convince you and everybody that you know and that you're certain. And somewhere deep down inside of you, you know you're not. So you don't need to know. If you have a defined Ajna, your undefined Ajna center, you don't need to know. You don't need to answer questions. If you have an open head center, you don't have to know if you have a undefined Ajna center.